Hi everyone and welcome. In this presentation we are going to answer a very important question. How does a company actually move to Salesforce? So when people first hear about Salesforce, they may think that a company simply buys Salesforce, creates some users, imports customer information, and starts using the system, right? But in reality, Salesforce implementation is much more than installing a new application. It's usually a complete business transformation. The company needs to understand it is the current process, identify its problems, decide what the future system should look like, prepare data, design the solution, build the system, and also test it, also training users, launch it, and continue improving to after launch. So moving to Salesforce is not only a technical project, it's also a business project, a data project, a change management project, and also the people project. During this presentation, we will walk through the entire Salesforce implementation lifecycle, like step by step. We will start with the reasons companies choose Salesforce. So then we will move through discovery, data strategy, system design, development, migration, testing, user training, go live, and post-launch support. Okay, so by the end of this presentation, you should have a clear understanding how a company goes from using disconnected system, spreadsheets, or an old CRM to operating successfully in Salesforce, right? So let's begin. Why companies transition to Salesforce. Before we talk about how a company moves to Salesforce, we first need to understand why companies make this decision, right? So many organizations have information stored in many different places. So, for example, the sales team may use Excel spreadsheets. The customer service team may use another application. The marketing team may use the separate email platform, right? And in finance may use an ERP system. So customer information may even be stored in the shared folders, even like personal notes or email boxes, right? Like this, the craze creates what we call data silos. Data silos means that information exists in one department or one system, but other teams cannot easily access it. Okay? So as a result, employees may not have the complete picture of their customers. For example, a sales representative may not know that the customer recently contacted the support team, right? So the support team may not know what a major sales opportunity is that currently being negotiated. So marketing may send message to the customers without knowing their current stats or history, right? So here Salesforce helps bring this information together. One of the most important goals is to create the single source of truth. A single source of truth means that employees really own one trusted system for accurate and current customer information. So instead of having the different versions of the same customer record, the organization has one reliable record. Okay, so there are four major reasons companies usually move to Salesforce. The first reason is data centralization. Salesforce allows a company to store important the customer and business information in one cloud-based platform. Okay, this may include account, contact, leads, opportunity, cases, activities, products, and may like many other types of information. Okay, and the second reason is process efficiency. Before Salesforce, many tasks may be manually, right? Like employees may send email, update spreadsheet, and copy information between system, or remember to like complete follow-up activities themselves, right? In Salesforce, many of these processes can be automated. Like for example, Salesforce can automatically create a follow-up task, send an email, notification, also update a record, create a support case, or request approval. So the third reason is scalability. A small company may be like able to manage the customers using spreadsheets, right? But as a company grows, the number of customers, employees, transactions, and business processes also grows, right? Salesforce provides a platform that can grow with the organization. Okay, and here the fourth reason is better decision making, because Salesforce collects business information in a structured way. Managers can use reports and dashboards to understand what is happening, right? And they can see sales performance, customer service trends, employee workloads, conversation rates, and many other business metrics. So companies do not move to Salesforce only because they want modern software. They move because they want better visibility, better collaboration, better automation, and more control over their business process. So now that we understand why companies move to Salesforce, let's look at the full implementation lifecycle. Okay. Its Salesforce implementation usually has 4 major phases, like that's discovery, design and build, deploy and train, and support and optimize. The first phase is discovery. During discovery, the team learn how the company currently works. Okay, they meet with stakeholders, document existing processes, identify pain point, define requirements, and agree on what success should look like. And the second phase is design and build. During this phase, the team design the future Salesforce solution. So they decide how data should be structured, how users should access information, what should be automated, and what integration are required, and what the user experience should look like. Then the Salesforce administration and developers build the solution. The third phase is deploy and train. This includes moving the final configuration into production, migration data, training users, and preparing the operation for go live. And the first phase is support and optimize. After Salesforce goes live, the team monitors the system, resolve problems, gather feedback, and continue improving the solution. Okay, it's important to understand that that these phases are connected, because the poor discovery phase can create problem during the development. A poor data preparation can cause migration issue. Insufficient testing can create product defect. Weak user training can result in low adoption. So every stage supports the next stage. Okay, a successful Salesforce implementation is not based on one person building a few features. It is based on a structured life cycle in which business teams, technical teams, data teams QA teams, and also users work together. So let's examine each step in more details, okay? The first major step is discovery. So discovery is one of the most important part of the entire implementation. Before the team builds anything, they need to understand the business, right? They need to understand what the organization does, who the users are, how the current process work, and what problems exist, and what the company wants to achieve, right? So this usually begins with stakeholders interviews. Stakeholders are people who are affected by the system or have an interest in a project. So they may include executives, department managers, sales representatives, customer service agents, marketing employees, IT staff, finance team, and also system administration. So during stakeholders interview, the project team can ask questions such as, there's a lot, such as what does your team do every day, right? Or what system do you currently use? What part of the process are manual? What are what information is difficult to find? Also, what makes happen frequently? What reports do managers need? What should make your work easier, etc. This conversation helped the team identify pain point. Right? Also, a pain point is a problem that creates frustration, extra work, delays, risk, or poor customer experience. For example, user may say we have to enter the same information into 3 different systems. Or we do not know who last contacted the customer. Or manager cannot see accurate sales forecast. Customer requests are sometimes lost in email. So sometimes maybe we create the reports manually every week, right? So each of these pain points may become a Salesforce requirement. So another important discovery activity is process mapping. So process mapping means usually documenting how work moves from one step to another. For example, the team may map the lead management process. A lead enters the company through website form. A sales representative reviews the lead contacted, and if the lead is qualified, it is converted into an account, contact, and opportunity, right? So the opportunity then moves through different sales stages. By mapping the current process, the team can identify necessary steps, duplicate works, and also opportunities for automation, right? So the project team also separates the requirements into different categories. Some requirements are must-have requirements. These are essential for the business to operate. Other requirements are nice-to-have requirements. So this may improve the experience, but are not required for the first launch, right? So this distinction is important because Salesforce project can become too large if every request is treated as urgent, right? So the team also performs a gap analysis. Gap analysis compares the current state with the desired future states. So the current state describes how the company works today, and the future state describes how the company wants to work after Salesforce is implemented, right? And the gap is the difference between the two. Like for example, in the current state, the cases may arrive by email and be like assigned manually. So in the future state, the cases may be created automatically and routed to the correct teams based on type, like priority or region. Also, discovery also includes defining success metrics or KPIs. So a KPI is a key performance indicator. The company should decide like how it will measure whether the Salesforce implementation is successful. Like a KPI, like possibly KPIs include like reducing manual data entry, improving lead conversation, reducing case resolution type, right? Increase user adoption, improving data accuracy, etc. So at the end of discovery, the team should have a clear understanding of the business problems, the project goals, and the main requirements, and the expected outcomes. So this information becomes the foundation for the future design. Okay. And also here, the second major step is developing an data strategy, right? So data is one of the most important part of any Salesforce implementation, okay? The company may build an excellent system, but if the data is incomplete, duplicated, outdated, or incorrect, user will not trust the platform. So, and if users do not trust the data, they will not use the system correctly, right? So the data strategy usually begins with a data audit. A data audit means identifying what data the company currently has and where that data is stored, right? The team may find customer data in an old CRM and an ERP system, Excel files, marketing tools, support applications, or database, right? And they need to understand like what data exists, who owns the data, how old is data, how accurate is data, and their duplicate records, other like important fields missing, also which data should remain in another system, right? Not every piece of historical data needs to be migrated, okay? Like for example, a company may have 15 years of old customer activity. So the business may decide that only the most recent 5 years need to be imported into Salesforce, okay? The next activity is data mapping. So data mapping, that means deciding where information from the old system will be stored in Salesforce. Okay, for example, an old system may have the field called like customer company. In Salesforce, that information may map at the account name field. A field called like primary person may map to a contact to Salesforce is a contact. A field called like the deal amounts may map to opportunity. Okay, so some information may fit into like standard Salesforce object and fields, and other information may require custom objects or custom fields. So the team must be very careful during mapping. A field may have a similar name but a different meaning. Like for example, stats in one system may represent customer stats, while status in another system may represent payment status. Okay, so the team also needs a cleanup strategy. Before importing data, the company should remove duplicates, correct formatting, standardize values, and resolve incomplete records. Okay, like for example, the company may appear the same company may appear as for example, like ABC Incorporate. The second is ABC Inc. or maybe A.B.C. Inc. or ABC Company, right? Like without cleanup, Salesforce may treat those as 4 different accounts, or maybe 3 different accounts in one. So phone number may also use different formats, like states may be written as Illinois or EL or ELL. EEL, how I can write it. So company names may be written in the several different ways. Okay, so cleaning and standardizing those values improves reporting, automation, and also user trust. Another critical decision is defining the source of truth. A source of truth is the system that officially owns a certain type of information. Okay, for example, Salesforce may be the source of truth for customer relationships information, right? So the ERP may be the source of truth for invoices and payments. So a human resources system may be the source of truth for employee information. This this must be clearly defined, especially when systems are integrated. Otherwise, one system may overwritten another system with incorrect or outdated information. So the data team may also need to define data governance rules. Okay, so the data governance explains who can create, update, delete, edit, and approve data. And it also defines the required fields, naming standards, duplicate management, ownership, and data quality expectations. A good Salesforce implementation does not simply move old data into a new system. It improves the way the company creates, manages, the protects all data, right? Protects and uses data. Okay, and also here architecting for scalability and performance. After the requirements and a data strategy are understood, the team begins designing the future state. The future state is the planning Salesforce environment that will support the company's future business process. The design usually has 3 major areas, like a functional design, technical architecture, and user experience design. So let's begin with functional design. So functional design explains what the system should do from a business perspective. And the business requirements are translated into Salesforce features. Like, for example, a business requirement may say, when a high-value opportunity reach the negotiation stage, the sales manager must review it. The Salesforce solution may use an approval process, flow, notifications, or the combination of features. Okay, and another requirement may say the customer service cases must be assigned automatically based on the product type. So this may be implemented using QSs, assignment rules, flow, omnichannel, or other Salesforce features. Requirements are often documented as user stories. A user story is usually written in a format such as a sales representative, I want to see all customer activities in one place so that I can understand the future customer relationship. So the user story describes who needs the future, what they need, and why they need it. Okay, then the second area is technical architecture. Technical architecture defines how the company system will be structured. This includes the data model, the security model, integration, environments, automation strategy, and the system performance. So the data model defines how Salesforce objects relate to another. Like, for example, an account may have many contacts, right? An account may have many opportunities. A contact may have many cases, right? So a custom object may be related to an account or opportunity. So the security model defines who can see and modify information. And Salesforce security can include profiles, permission sets, roles, sharing rules, organization-wide defaults, right? Choose public groups, also field level security. The goal is to give users the access they need while protecting sensitive information, right? So technical architecture also includes integration. Also here, a company may need Salesforce to communicate with other systems such as an ERP, marketing platform, payment system, call center, or like identity provider. Okay, and the architecture team decides how data will move between these systems. Like, will the integration happen in real time? Will it run once every hour? Will data move one direction or both directions? Which system owns each field? Like, how will integration error be handled? So these decisions are extremely important. The third area is user experience design, also called UX design. A system can technically work correctly, but still be difficult to use. If users need to many click, cannot find important information, or see unnecessary field, they may avoid using Salesforce. Like, UX design focuses on creating intuitive experience. Okay, so the team may customize Lightning record page, page layout, related lists, action tabs, navigation, and also screen flow. Like a different user may need different experience. A sales representative may need opportunities and activities. A support agent may need cases and customer history. A manager may need dashboard and team performance. So one important Salesforce design principle is configuration first. Okay, so this means the team should first consider standard Salesforce features and low-code tools before creating custom code. For example, a Salesforce administrator may use flow validation rule, formula fields, also like approval process, and like standard information. Okay. So here the custom Apex code may be necessarily when the requirements is too complex for standard tools, but custom code should not be the first option automatically. Okay, like configuration is often easier to maintain, easier to update, and easier to like future administration to understand. However, configuration first does not mean never use code. It means selecting the simplest and the most maintainable solution that meets the business requirements. Okay, a good design must also be scalable. So the team should not only for today's situation. They should consider future growth, additional users, more data, more departments, new products, and possible integrations. Okay, and also here, like a collaborative teams ensure project success. A Salesforce implementation required collaboration between many different roles. No single person usually handles the entire project alone. Each role brings a different perspective, an area of expertise. Let's start with the product manager, the project manager. So the project manager is responsible for the overall coordination of the project. They manage the timeline, budget, resources, risk, meeting, dependencies, and also communication. They help make sure the project stays organized and that information that's all important information decisions are made on time. Okay. Next is the business analyst. Business analyst works closely with business users and technical teams. They help understand the business problems, gather requirements, document the processes, writes user stories, define acceptance criteria, and clarify business rules. So the business analyst acts as a bridge between the business and the technical team. Like for example, a business user may say, we need to make sure important customers receive faster service. So the business analyst helps turn that general statement into clear system requirements, and they may ask what defines an important customer, how should the system identify them, and what does faster service mean, right? Should it be assigned to a specific queue, or should it be the case received a higher priority, right? So next is the Salesforce administrator or consultant. Salesforce administrator configures the platform. They may create objects, fields, page layouts, flows, permission sets, reports, validation rule, dashboards, approval process, etc. So they also help manage users, security, data quality, and ongoing support. So the Salesforce developer handles complex custom development. Okay, a developer may create Apex classes, triggers, Lightning Web Components, APIs, or also advanced integrations. So developers are usually involved when the requirement cannot be handled efficiently with the standard Salesforce configuration. Okay. So a Salesforce project may also include a solution architect. A solution architect designs the overall solution and makes major technical decisions. They consider scalability, security, performance, integration, and long-term maintainability. So another important group is the quality accuracy team, or a QA team. So QA tester verify that the system works as expected. They test features, the business processes, integrations, permissions, and user scenarios. So the project may also the data engineers, integration specialists, change management professionals, trainers, product owners, also the Scrum Master, and like a subject matter experts. So subject matter experts, or SME, is someone who deeply understands a specific business area. So for example, an admissions manager may be an CME, or like subject matter expert, for the student admission process. A service manager may be an SME for case handling. So any users are also part of the project. So their involvement is essential because they understand the daily work and will eventually use the system. So the most successful Salesforce project happen when the business and technical teams work together continuously. The business should not simply give requirements and disappear. The technical team should not build a solution without regular feedback. Collaboration reduces like misunderstanding and helps ensure that the final solution solve the correct problem. So once the solution is designed, the team begins the build and the configuration phase. And one of the most important Salesforce development principle is that change should not be built directly in production. Production is the live environments used by real employees and real customers. A mistake in production could affect business operations, the customer data, automation, reporting, or like integration. So instead of the team builds and tests change in sandbox environments, a sandbox is a separate Salesforce environment used for development, testing, and training, or like quality assurance. Depending on the project, there may be several environments. Like for example, a developer sandbox may be used by administrators or developers. A QA sandbox may be used by the testing team. A UAT sandbox may be used by the business users. A full sandbox may contain a copy of production data and may be used for large-scale testing. Okay, so the exit environment strategy depends on the size and the complexity of the organization. During the build phase, Salesforce administrators and developers create the features defined during design. This may include this project may include objects and fields, page layouts, and lightning page, validation rules, flows, permission sets, pull process, dashboards and reports, email alerts, queues, Apex code, LWC, integration. The team usually works using an agile methodology. Agile means that the work is divided into smaller periods called sprint. A sprint may last 1 week, 2 weeks, or another agreed periods. So instead of building the entire system for many the months without feedback, the team builds smaller pieces and demonstrates them regularly. So for example, during one sprint, the team may build lead intake. During another sprint, they may build opportunity management, right? So during another sprint, they may build case assignments. So at the end of each sprint, stakeholders can review the work and provide feedback. So this helps the team identify problems earlier. Each feature usually begins as a user history. So the user history should include acceptance criteria. Here, acceptance criteria explain the condition that must be true for the story to be considered complete. For example, given that a case has a priority of critical, when the case is created, then it should be assigned to the critical support queue, and the support manager should receive a notification. So these acceptance criteria help developers, administrators, QA, and also business users understand the acceptance behavior. So the team should also use version control. Version control tracks change to Salesforce metadata. It allows the team to understand that change, who changed it, and when it changed. So version control systems such as Git can help teams collaborate, review changes, avoid conflicts, and restore previous version when necessary. So changes are then provided through the different environments, like for example, development to QA, QA to UAT, UAT to production. So this process may use change sets, Salesforce CLI, DevOps tool, or in continuous integration and a continuous delivery pipeline. So the goal is to move change in the controlled and repeatable way. So, yep. Also here, while the Salesforce solution is being built, the data migration team prepares the data for the new system. The data migration is the process of moving information from legacy system into Salesforce. So a common data migration process is called ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. The first step is extract. So during extraction, the team export data from the existing system. This may include data from database, spreadsheets, or CRM platforms, ERP systems, or the third-party applications. The second step, transform. During transform, the data is cleaned and converted into a format that matches Salesforce. For example, the team may remove duplicate records, standardized data, the correct involved email addresses, convert statements into standard abbreviations, split one field into multiple fields, combine information from several sources, replace old values with the Salesforce values, create external IDs, prepare records relationships. And the third step is load. During load, the transformed data is important into Salesforce. The team may use data important without data loader, ETL platforms, integration tools, or the custom spreads. So the order of loading is important because Salesforce records often have relationships. For example, account may need to be loaded before contact and account and the contacts may need to extend before opportunity. Parent records often needs to be loaded before child record. External ID can help preserve this relationship. So before the final migration, the team should perform one or more test migrations. A test migration allows the team to identify problems before go live. They may load a sample of data into a sandbox and ask business users to identify it. So the team should check, did the correct number of records load, are field values correct, apparent child relationship correct, a record owner is assigned property, so a duplicate record created, and etc. So automation is accidentally running during the migration, right? So the team may temporarily disable certain automations while loading data. Otherwise, importing thousands of records may trigger emails, create tasks, update related records, all cause errors. So after the load, the team performs post-valid validation. They compare the source data with Salesforce and verify that everything migrated correctly. The data migration is not just a technical activity. Okay, it's business users need to participate because they understand what the data means, right? So technically, successful migration can still fail if the wrong data was selected or if the business means was lost. Okay, so here, after the system built, it must be thoroughly tested, finally. Testing helps confirm that the solution works correctly, meets business requirements, protects data and integrates properly with other systems. There are several types of testing in a solution, like Salesforce solution implementations. The first unit is unit testing. Unit testing check individual components. So, for example, the team may test there's the one flow, one validation rule, one Apex classes, or one Lightning Web component. The purpose is to confirm that the individual components work correctly by itself. For customer Apex code, Salesforce also requires automated test classes. So the test classes help verify behavior and are required before deploying code to production. So the second type of system testing. System testing check complete business process inside Salesforce. For example, the team may test the entire leads to opportunity process. They may create a lead, qualify it, convert it, create an opportunity, move the opportunity through stages, and close the deal. So the third type is integration testing. Integration testing confirms that Salesforce communicates correctly with external system. For example, does Salesforce send customer information to the ERP? Does the payment system return the correct stats? Does the market platform receive updates, contact information? How are integration errors recorded and resolved? So the team should test both successful and unsuccessful scenarios. Another important area is security and permission testing. Different users may have different access levels, right? A sales representative may be able to view opportunities in their region. A manager may be able to view the entire team. A finance user may see payment information, right? So another user may not be allowed to view that information. So QA should test the system as a different user profiles or permission sets. So the team also performs regression testing. So regression testing ensures that a new change has not broken or existing features. So for example, a new flow may work correctly but accidentally interfere with an older automation. So regression testing helps detect this side effect. The final model testing stage is like user acceptance testing, or like UAT. So during UAT, real business users test Salesforce using like realistic business scenarios. The purpose is not only to find technical bugs. The purpose is to confirm that the system supports the actual business processes. For example, an admission user may test an addition process. A customer service representative may test case creates and escalation. A sales manager may test opportunity approval and also like forecasting. Before UAT begins, users should receive test scripts or test scenarios. They should know what steps to follow, what results to expect, and how to report the problem, right? And also, when a problem is found, the team documents it as a defect or bug. The issue is reviewed, prioritized, fixed, and retested. So UAT usually ends with a formal business approval or like sign off. That means that the business confirms the solution is ready for production. Also, testing should not be treated as the final activity after everything else is finished. QA should be involved throughout the project. So like early testing find issue when they are easier and less expensive to fix. Okay. And also here, a technical successful Salesforce implementation can still fail if users do not adopt the system. User adoption means that that employees actually use Salesforce correctly and consistently. This is why training and change management are essential. People may resist a new system for many reasons. They may be comfortable with the old process. They may worry that the new system will make their job more difficult. So they may not understand why the change is happening. They may feel that the system was designed without their input, right? Or they may also fear like increased monitoring or accountability. So the change management helps prepare the organization for the transition. Communication should begin early, not only a few days before launch. Like employees should understand why is the company moves to Salesforce? What problem will it solve? Right? What benefits it will provide, and where can they get help? Right? The project should also identify change champions. Change champions are trusted users who support the project and help other employees. So they may they participate in testing, training, communication, or early support. So the user training should be role-based. Not every user needs to learn every Salesforce features, right? So it's a sales representative should learn the process and records used in sales, right? The customer, the service agent should learn the case management. The manager should learn reporting, dashboards, approvals, and team visibilities. So an administrator needs deeper system knowledge. So the training can include live workshops, records, recorded videos, user guides, quick reference documents, sandbox practice, and office practice, right? Office hours. So users should practice real scenarios rather than only watching a general demonstration. So works, for example, a sales user should practice through creating a lead, logging an activity, converting the lead, and updating an opportunity. So before go live, the project team prepares a Q-Tower plan. A Q-Tower plan explains exactly how the company will move from the old system to Salesforce. It may include the final data extraction, the final data load, deployment of data meta, so integration activities, system validation, communication to employees, right? Rollback or the support assignments, maybe, right? So the production deployment may happen during the weekend or low activity period or reduced business disruption. So after deployment, the team performs a sanity test or like a smoke test. This is a short production test that confirms that the system critical functions are working. So the team may verify that the users can log in, important page load, integrations active, the process work, their like key process work, and also migrated data is available. Then the system officially goes live. So during the live, many projects a team member may be available at the same time. So this is often described as an all hands on deck approach. So the goal is to respond quickly if users experience problems. Yeah, and here also we have, I think it's the last one. Yeah, so the continuous improvement is the final step. So here, go live is a major milestone, but it's not only, it's not the end of the Salesforce journey. Immediately after launch, the project usually enters a period called the hypercare. So hypercare is a period of intensive support. During the hypercare, the team closely monitors the production environment and helps users with urgent problems. The team may track login issue, permission issue, data migration, integration failure, automation errors, right? Like user question, unexpected business scenarios. Issues should be treated and prioritized, right? So a critical issue that stops employees from working should receive immediate attention. A small user interface important may be placed in the future backlog. So the team may have daily support meetings during the first days or the weeks after launch. They review open issues, assign owners, communicate updates, and confirm resolutions. So after important activity is creating feedback loops. A feedback loop is a structured way to collect user input. So the company may use support tickets, surveys, office hours, team meetings, user groups, all like feedback forms. So user feedback help the team understand how Salesforce is working in the real world. Like sometimes users discover new needs after they begin using the system. So sometimes a process that look good during design feels too complicated during daily work. So sometimes the business itself changes. The team should review this like feedback and add valuable improvements to the product backlog. So yeah, the next stage is optimization. Optimization means like improving database on real usage, like performance data, user feedback, and like the changing the business priorities. Okay, so the team may simplify a flow, improve a page layout, add a dashboard, like improve data quality, modify permissions, right? Or maybe automate another minimal process. So administrators should also monitor system health. They may review like login and adoption reports, data storage, APIs, usage, flow errors, Apex errors, duplicate errors, records. So also maybe like integration failure, security settings, release updates, right? So the Salesforce normally provides platform releases multiple times per year. So the Salesforce team should review release notes, test important changes, and evaluate new features. Some new features may allow the company to replace custom development with the standard functionalities. So over time, the organization may also add new Salesforce products or capabilities. For example, like it may expand from Sales Cloud to Service Cloud, Experience Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Data Cloud, or AI features. The system should evolve as the business evolves. The most important point is this: Salesforce implementation is not a one-time installation. It is the beginning of an ongoing cycle. So the company discover new needs, design improvements, build solutions, test change, release them, the gathers feedback, and improves again. So this is how Salesforce becomes a long-term business platform rather than simply another software tool. So yeah, I think we are done. Let's check the, yeah. So let's summarize, right? So let's quickly review the full journey. The first, the company identifies why it needs Salesforce. Then the project team performs the discovery and gather business requirements. A company creates a data strategy and defines the source of truth. The team designs the future design, like business process, data models, security, integration, and user experience. So administrators and developers build the solution safely in sandbox environments. The data team transforms, cleans, and loads the data into Salesforce. QA teams and business users test the system. Users receive training, and the organization prepares for change. The team deploys the solution and launches Salesforce in production. After go live, hypercare, support, feedback, and optimization continue. So every stage is important. Technology is important, but people, process, data, and communication are equally important. So Salesforce the successful Salesforce implementation happens when the company does not simply copy its old process into a new system. Like instead, it uses the implementation as an opportunity to improve how the organization works, right? So thank you for watching. I hope this presentation helped you understand how a company moves to Salesforce from beginning to end. See you next time.